Hello all. Let me know if you can hear me okay. The sound's coming through. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I apologize for signing in late. Had some technical problems. But I'm not sure if you can hear me. I'm not able to hear anyone at this point. So I'll type something in the chat room. Let me know if you can hear me.
Are we good? Testing?
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Greetings from scorching hot Argentina.
Hi there.
Hello everyone.
Hi Ben.
Having some major technical problems at my end here. I've been trying to come in like 3 or 4 times, so looks like now it's gonna work, hopefully.
Est-ce que ça va, si tu relis bien les consignes, c'est homogenéité. Ça peut faire partie de la façon dont cet aspect-là. Si vous arrivez à faire avec les classes
I'll stop it. I just might.
Sarah dit que je regarderai. Non, ça c'est juste c'est qui a dit ça? C'est ok, Ah oui, tu me l'as fait? Non, bah non, j'ai pas trouvé de solution. Ça, je comprends pas trop ce qu'il fait. Et bah, il souhaite pas l'aider sur le travail que tu as fait. Donc, il va se faire voir. À bientôt, je vais. T'as rien dit comme ça, mais après, je me suis dit bête, je me suis dit ça classe, mais le stage, je me dis, non, non, je préfère la couper, je fais bien, comme ça, quoi. C'est sûr, si tu veux des stages, ça aurait été, je sais pas, un gars comme moi, je vais pas lui demander une photo. J'ai dit, non, c'est vrai qu'il me demande de me reprendre pour ce faire. J'ai dit quoi? Ça serait été, ça avait été, ça avait été. Attends, normalement, on pense mais là, si on dit que on a juste quelque chose là. C'était n'importe quoi en rouge. C'est une voix d'homme un peu là.
Chargeant de téléphone.
Ouais, on m'a dit qu'on était fait son peu. Ah, bah oui, je ne sais pas. Il me dégoûte, l'autre, il crache sur la hausse.
C'est quoi, Romain? Non.
Un petit imprimé écran. J'ai dit à toi, c'est quoi? Comme des petits dents.
So I'm guessing Simon is in France. And who's enjoying their breakfast right now? I'm going to have my Colombian coffee from Colombia, in Colombia.
You want everyone to be envious? You're getting it. I'm having mate. That's the typical drink from Argentina. Today it's with mint because it's so warm here. And are you teaching right now, or are you on holidays?
Me, I'm actually starting to teach today. Students are coming back to school today. Thought I'd come in early, do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's kicking this off anyways?
Wait for Ma.
Yeah, I'm assuming Maha's going to come in during her presentation. That's my understanding. Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting for her. Is that correct? Is that how you all understand it?
Yeah.
I saw her connected, but now I don't.
Sur Google, en gros, genre, ouais, sur Google. Après, tu vois, j'ai tapé, genre là, je tape les santé. Après, sur Tech, je tape, ouais, tu tapes sport. C'est pas la folie, mais. On te voit. Ah oui, moi, je suis là. Regarde, je suis là dans la petite case.
Moi, je suis malade.
C'est bon, tu m'entends. T'as écrit à l'oreille, c'est quoi ça? T'as écrit à l'oreille.
C'est quoi?
T'as écrit à mon fils.
C'est en gros,
T'as répondu.
le truc.
Ouais.
T'as dit
On a
quoi?
parlé sur les web.
Elizabeth. So good to see you.
Je me tiens un peu le cas, mais je suis tout avec toi.
Mais il y a Mathieu qui veut se mettre avec moi.
Mathieu? Ah oui. Et tu veux pas? Qu'est-ce que tu préfères quand je me mets avec Mathieu?
Non, mais j'aime bien.
Si tu es
Lots of echo. The echo can be, I mean, what we have to do is mute our microphones if we are not
Ah
talking.
ouais, tu veux te mettre avec elle?
We have to remember to do that.
I think that's a good idea to mute everyone.
Mathieu, il a envoyé le mail.
It looks like Maha is giving a presentation.
I'm using your microphone.
Non, mais si tu veux avec ton téléphone.
Ah non, c'est bon. T'as vu, c'est
Je
c'est
veux
pareil.
pas me mettre entre les deux.
Ok.
Okay, Maha, I don't know if you can hear us, but we are not able to hear you, so I'm not sure if you want to check your mic or if you would like us to do something. Okay, so you can hear us, but we can't hear Maha. Great. Maybe if you would like us to introduce ourselves or if there's something, okay. Well, my name is Benjamin Stewart, and I teach in Aguascalientes, Mexico. I teach at a public university in a four-year BA degree in English language teacher training, and so I work with teacher trainers primarily in research courses and writing courses. So maybe we can go down the line here and introduce ourselves. If you'd like to unmute yourself and chime in.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm Simon. I'm teaching in France. Romain, who's wearing the UCLA sweatshirt, he's in the same classroom as me, and we're working with a pile of people who are around about doing all sorts of stuff. So, hello, everybody from France. I'm going to mute myself again.
Hi, everyone. Greetings from Argentina. My name is Maria. I teach English to adults here at home. We are currently on holidays because it's the summer here and it's impossible to work. I'm happy to be here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Romain. Do you listen? Do you hear me? Yes. Okay. So, my name is Romain. I'm a student of Clermont-Ferrand. So my teacher is Simon. I study physical activity and sports, and I'm in my last year of my degree. So that's it.
Welcome, Romain. We love having students here.
Thank you.
Yeah, Robert, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Don't know if you can see me. I'm Robert Walkman in the Philippines, American semi-retired ESL teacher, and now doing a little bit of teacher education and doing a lot of stuff every day online, participating in a couple of TESOL's Electronic Village online sessions and helping out with the Shaping the Way We Teach English MOOC on Coursera, and anyway, lots of stuff. So glad to join you all. I met Maha a couple months ago when we were both hanging out waiting for an event that Vance was trying to launch from India, which had some technical problems. Next.
Elizabeth, would you like to introduce yourself? Okay. Okay, so I see Maha's putting some things.
Teresa.
Oh, we're missing one. I'm sorry.
I can introduce myself. I'm Teresa, and I'm in the Greater Lisbon area in Portugal. I'm a retired EFL teacher and a freelance teacher trainer, and I'm a webhead in action. I have been one for 14 years, and we're all part of the webheads here, I think, okay, or most, all of us. So enjoy your conference and have a great presentation, Maha.
Okay, it looks like Amaha's putting some comments in the chat room. I'm not sure if she'd like us to comment on some of those. One is some resources that we're using to create kind of a creative TEFL environment. Is there anyone want to share some of the resources that you're using currently to promote creativity amongst your students?
Well, I guess I'll start because I did my homework that asked us what were the gains of being connected, and I wrote some things while I was waiting in a line to pay for some things. And so the first thing I have to say about being connected is that being connected helps you become aware of several things, mainly that you are not alone. Two, that making mistakes and asking for help is okay. That there are alternative ways to do things when you teach. And five, that once you've made up your mind as to what you want to achieve as a teacher and what you want to do in your classes, there are plenty of opportunities online, and they are free to learn with other passionate educators. And finally, I want to say that, in my humble opinion, this is the best time to be a teacher. And if I have to recommend the one and only professional development opportunity, it would be the EBO sessions, which are underway right now. So if you want to learn for free and with other educators, you can start right now there, and then each teacher follows their own path. And that's what I wanted to say.
Anyone else would like to jump in? Some resources or any comments or suggestions about how to be a good online learner / teacher?
Robert here. I just posted a link to a website. I don't know if we participants can do screen share or anything, but you can click on the link in the chat and go to my Wikispaces wiki of links for enhancing listening and pronunciation instruction. And actually, the last couple of pages, I've just added some things there that go with a TESOL, an article I just wrote for the Call Interest section newsletter that hasn't been published yet. Anyway, check it out.
Thank you, Robert. That's one of the things I love about being online, is that the amount of stuff that teachers share and is out there that is usually very helpful for us, even if it's written by someone in the Philippines.
What do you mean, even?
Because we might think that because this teacher who is teaching English in the other side of, because I'm in Argentina, yes, I'm in the end of the world. And so what Robert writes and shares is usually useful to me, and that's because basically we're doing the same things here. And that's what I love about this, the sharing thing, the sharing part.
I agree 100%.
And it's also what once you get things, you have to give back. So this is a great responsibility, because you have to give back what you got for free. We are all here, I think. And mind you, it's 43 degrees outside. I could be in a swimming pool right now.
So Maha can't, has no video. We don't see her.
I can see her.
In terms of student resources, I've been using several Google apps as of late, and I did the presentation for the first Google Portugal Summit in November, and I think that they are great tools, although I've always been all for flexibility in choosing tools. I think that we should always choose the tool that we feel works best for the task at hand with our students or with trainees. But anyway, I've been using Google Docs, Google Spreadsheets, Google Slides, etc. more as of late, and I think that they are quite useful, especially when you think that you can have 50 people collaborating simultaneously in a document. I think that's absolutely fantastic. In terms of professional development, contacts with other teachers, with professionals, etc., I've been using LinkedIn, Google+, I have my own YouTube channel to share stuff, Facebook, which I'm not really a fan of, but I do use it now and then. And I think Twitter, yes, I thought I was missing something. Twitter is something a platform that I go to on a daily basis as of late, and I think it's quite helpful. You can get a lot for professional development. So those are my 2 cents from Portugal. Enjoy the conference.
Looks like Isra posted a message saying she's been teaching a couple of years now and she's asking for any tips. The only thing I would mention, really, if you're just getting started trying to build an online presence, is to seek out some of these social media tools that we're mentioning that Teresa has already mentioned. Google+, Twitter, Facebook. Find something that is comfortable for you. Even participating in blogs, finding educator blogs that you wish to comment on, and really just start commenting and dialoguing and conversing with other educators, sharing your opinion, your experiences with others. And I think as you get into it, you'll start finding those social media tools that you find that you're most comfortable with, and then as an educator, find those same media tools that you feel comfortable that might help your own students. So it's kind of a balance for me anyway between me as a learner and as an educator, and trying to find those social spaces that really work to work along both of those lines, both as a learner and as an educator. And certainly some of this overlaps, but I think it's just a matter of not feeling too overwhelmed by all the technology out there, not feeling that you have to have an account for all of these social media tools, but just start very simple with the tools that you, again, are comfortable with.
Are we just jumping in? I'm not sure the protocol for the session here. But I'm Kevin, so I'm going to jump in, I guess. It's great to kind of jump in and be part of you, and kind of following on what Ben had said too. I think that paying attention to hashtags around educational ideas is a really key component to thinking about social media and how to find not just topics that you're interested in, but also people who are following the same topic, and I think that's really important. And one of the things to keep in mind too, I think, around social media is try not to create like a closed community that you're in of just the same people echoing back the things that you believe in. I think it's really important to kind of reach out beyond that and make sure you not get caught up in an echo chamber of sorts in which you're just kind of hearing back the same things that you believe in. that you want to open it up and think about not necessarily opposing views, but different ways of looking at an issue. I think it's really a key part of this whole idea of the connected culture that we're kind of moving into as educators and students and learners and all sorts of things.
I think another thing too is to really know your students and kind of their comfort level about sharing online. We haven't. Today's probably not the time to go into Creative Commons, but there is an aspect of publishing online, whether you're publishing with your students or if you're publishing yourself, making certain decisions about Creative Commons or an open license as to what rights others have when to use the information that you're sharing online. So I think if you're just getting started, it's worth looking and doing a search on Creative Commons and understanding some of the licenses that are involved there, and then making a conscious decision as a teacher, as a publisher, that you're publishing your content as well as your students, and making certain decisions about what's the right choice, again, for your own particular context. Okay, anyone else wish to make any suggestions or tips or suggestions about what you're doing, what's working for you as far as the social media that you're using, or anything else?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm using my head. I'm so sorry about this. I'm using my headphones to be able to communicate, but they cannot. They can hear you well. I just for them to hear you, I'll have to switch back to the speakers, but I won't be able to speak. So we are writing. Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's a great help, everybody. Thank you. Just one second.
Bonjour Mara. Hi Mara. This is Teresa. I'd just like to encourage Romain, if he's still there. Romain, tu veux partager avec nous les sites que tu préfères et les outils que tu utilises pour te connecter en ligne?
Yes, maybe I could share with you that site. I am personally, I don't use so much social network like just Facebook, but in class with Simon, I try to use this kind of tool like Google Plus, Scoopit, and all that kind of sites, and it's great because it kind of spread our points of view, because you have access to different knowledge that you wouldn't be able to have like just if you stay on your little library or like you spread your points of view. And what's really interesting in the way Simon teaches English is that it's really give us I don't know how to say, a more close relationship with our teacher. We can talk with him more easily, and you are not shy to talk with him, and it's way more comfortable, I think. This kind of learning for me, I really appreciate, because it's not so much about a teacher that sits and you sit behind your chair and just listen to him giving you the knowledge, it's more about sharing experience, and that's really that's I really enjoy it. That's it.
That's a great point, Roman. I think being accessible to the students is really what it's all about, and technology really helps us as educators reach out to all students. And so I think you make some very good points, Roman. Thank you for that. Okay, anyone else want to chime in? Anyone using certain platforms, Moodle, Schoology, Blackboard, any general platforms anyone's using for their classes?
If I can just if I can say that I am in the flipped EVO session right now, and the reason I joined the session is that because I want to do more preparation before the class. So when we meet in class, we have more time for conversation and for clarifying doubts and all that. And the way I can do that is by screencasts. And that's why I'm trying to focus on that. And I am also concerned about copyright. That's why I am lurking in another session, which is called Copyright and Teachers Do the Right Thing. Those are basically my concerns, and the tools I want to go on using, because I have used it, is Screencast-O-Matic, where it allows you to record yourself. And then you can send that recording to the students before they come to class. Or in case they are absent to the class, they can go to the recording and check what you sent them. So that I think it's a great thing to do, for me at least, in my context.
Just want to mention quickly, there's a lot of really good links being included in the chat room. Unfortunately, we can't share those in the public broadcast, but I would ask all of you who are sharing links if you could also share it in the Google Plus event, so that the those who are attending Maha's session will have access to those links. Okay, any other tools or comments? I know Google Plus, or Google in general, is used quite a bit. Google Docs. I know I've used it in the past for writing, and it's a great way to interact with students and share their work, their writings publicly if they wish to. I know Microsoft now also has kind of an online presence as well. They're kind of getting into that market as well. So, anyone else want to share anything? Yes, this is being recorded. It's being broadcast live, and subsequently will be uploaded to YouTube. And I will include the link in the Google Plus event to the recording.
Robert, is there a way, or Benjamin, I'm sorry, is there a way that we can save this chat? Is there any sort of configuration, or is it just a copy-paste job, the chat, the text chat?
To my knowledge, there's not an automatic way to save the chat, but we can certainly copy and paste it and make that available.
Okay.
So I'll do that at the end. Okay, any other questions, Maha, from your attendees there? Anyone else want to post a question?
If there are no questions from Maha, maybe Benjamin, I can ask a question to you, which is from my side. I'm always interested in the beginnings of how you start, or where should a connected educator start, with the students, with herself, or with the institution. What is the what is the thing? How, because once you are already I heard your students say their poems online. They know how to behave online and all that. Where do we start?
Oh, wow. That's a good question, and I think it's really going to depend on the context. If you have a situation, a school environment that's really pushing certain technologies, and you feel comfortable and you think that that's, working for you as a learner. For me personally, my personal perspective is that I look at technology and all of my online presence that I do first for me as a learner, and then I look at my students to see what the objectives of the course are, and then try to find the technologies that I think will allow them hopefully to make their own learning more transparent as well. I think the bottom line for me is to make both my learning and my students' learning as transparent as possible. Obviously, I think I'm probably more open to sharing things online than some of my students, so it's not always going to be the same level of transparency between what my students are doing and what I'm doing, but I try to push the envelope, if you will, try to encourage my students to share as much as possible, and then just try to find the technologies that will both make their learning transparent as well as achieve the objectives of the course. So it's hard to give like a one stock answer to that, I think, very important question, because I think it's going to really depend on the comfort level. There's a lot of cultural involved as well, the culture of the school, the culture of the actual individual student, and your own comfort level as the teacher. So I think it's just a matter of being open to share and trying things and not being afraid to make mistakes, take risks, and try to learn, from what works in the past and what hasn't worked in the past, and then go from there. So I think it's to what I tell most teachers or students when they get started using technology is not to feel that they have to use all of these different types of technologies, to try to choose the ones that are most appropriate, or just choose one to start with. It's just really starting a dialogue, connecting with other educators or individuals that they feel that they can learn from. Again, not necessarily others that always agree with what they say, but finding those individuals that they feel that they can learn from, and that have different perspectives that really, I think, brings a level of learning to that individual that perhaps is not available working in isolation, working just within the four walls here, the confines of the school. So, it's really, I'm kind of not even giving you an answer, but I think it's things to really consider and just try to not feel overwhelmed by the level of technologies, because every day there's something new, as you know, coming up, and you know, and not try to find necessarily the popular type of technology, but just find what works for you, and then go from there. And I think it's just working very closely with the students and being in tune with what their needs are, what their concerns are, and realize, at least in my context, my students come to my class with various levels of knowledge about technology, different levels of comfort level. So it's really just trying to, you know, make it work for as many students as possible. Hopefully, you want to make it work for all the students, but
exactly.
You know,
well, you know why I asked you? Resonates Bain said just a few minutes ago when he talked about how personalized teaching can be, and it's different from if you enter a classroom and you just deliver the content. It's different from what I saw in your students when I heard them read their poems. It takes a lot of confidence to build a lot of confidence building between teacher and students, as a lot of work, and it shows when you see the students.
Yeah, and you're right. Well, it does. It in that case, you know, my students did a public poetry reading using Google Plus, but before that, they recorded in private. We practiced in class a lot, so this was not just their first time, not just using the technology, but also reading their poems. They had done it several times. It's almost like it's a theoretical, or basically a performance where they have to go through and practice it in different contexts so that they feel comfortable doing it. So whenever you bring in the technology, it's just one more thing that they don't really, they may be a little bit nervous about it, but they've done it enough times that they feel comfortable with doing it. And it just takes a lot of motivation and support, and, you know, the normal things we think of as teachers. You know, we just need to be there to support them and, you know, encourage them.
You know, Maria, I was going to add that I started on my own back in 1997-98 after completing my master's thesis, and I wanted to try things out. I started out with email exchanges. Then when I joined the Webheads in January 2002, I came to the conclusion that it's just absolutely fabulous to find like kind of soulmates online with whom you can work and explore tools. And so for me, to this day, even though I'm not as involved with the Webheads as I once was, but I still try to, one thing I learned, and from also co-coordinating, becoming a Webhead for 10 years, that exploring tools with other people, with peers, be they at your level or at a higher level, I think we can, it's like in class, you know, a mixed ability class. It's fabulous, and that's the advice I always give people. And then, you know, when you feel comfortable with a tool, with a couple of tools, then take them to class. So I still think that these EVO sessions, for anyone who is starting out or wants to start out with educational technology, are just fabulous, because they will really help those people create a personal learning network, and it will, you know, it will just tend to expand, and it's absolutely, I think, you know, necessary then to take things into the classroom.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think one of the great things about the EVO sessions is not only the EVO sessions themselves, but the fact that most of those who are participating in those sessions continue on throughout the year in online spaces. Like Vance, for example, has sessions throughout the year. So this idea of building your learning network just continues on through the actual sessions themselves, besides the fact of learning really good information, content, and skills in the sessions. You're also building relationships that last well beyond those sessions. So. Looks like Maha's continued on with her session, so I don't know if there are any closing thoughts here. Anyone else want to add anything before we conclude?
Just thank you for the invitation, and well, we'll keep on seeing each other online.
Right, and maybe tell Maha's attendees that they can contact us, and you know, we'll do our best to help, and that's what we're all doing, just helping one another, sharing, which is, I think, still a buzzword, a very relevant word in this online world, and not only, I mean, even in the face-to-face world. And thank you, Maha, for the invitation. I hope you've been having a wonderful session. I hope so, and see you all. Okay? See you all, Benjamin, Maria, Homa. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here, Homa. It's great to have a student.
You're welcome. It was very pleasant to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye, Maha.